Right, good morning guys. I'm making a video here to cover one of the other thrilling round of 16 matches which took place between mastertan and B0N0B0. This was actually played just yesterday. Unfortunately, I was out with family at the time, so I couldn't catch the games live. But look, I'm here. I'm going to play matches in real time and comment on the games as they go. So mastertan is white here. We've got an e4, e5. Now, yeah, mastertan's been playing very well in 2016, and I would not discount B0N0B0 though. I mean, B0N0B0 is a very talented player. Has also played the game for a number of years. Let's look at this. We've got e4, e5 here. I mean, usually d6 is played. That's quite common. And B0N0B0's chosen pawn e6, so he's trying to alleviate the pressure off this line. Now, one of mastertan's strengths really is in the opening. I think he studies the game a little bit on the side. He retains his learnings. So already here, he's picked up he can push this knight back with pawn f4 and e5. And that knight had no good square to go to. The knight on f6, that is. All of these squares were covered. So already he's making it look like white has a space advantage and a developmental advantage. Pawn at e6 is a safe move, but for this reason, it can make black a little bit passive. He's just opting to castle here, so d6 would be a way of trying to unlock things. The knight can still come out to h6 as well, because it's blocked off. So this is interesting. I mean, completely closed in the middle. B0N0B0's recognised that. He's put one pawn forward, but not sure how it's proceeding. I was kind of considering knight h6 and castles. It was not so bad, but now knight h6 means his pawn's hanging. Maybe he should play the pawn at h4 first, and then knight h6. Doing something different. So I think mastertan here would be satisfied with his position, but has probably not seen this exact position before. Queen d3 a good move. It's looking at this open line. It's also defending this rank, but it does take the eye off h5, and that now allows black to develop in here. And black's not awful. I mean, black looks behind on development, but in this game there's a lot about king safety. He doesn't have to develop fast if white can't do anything with his space. Yeah, I was thinking maybe instead of queen d3 you could have played bishop e3. I think it is wise to connect the rooks. I'm not sure if mastertan is trying to plan for something on d6 or f6, but I feel like black's already pretty well covered there. Okay, but I'm not seeing the angles for either of these plays. I thought the knight was coming to f5, put it onto g4. I kind of feel like I'd prefer to have the pawn in front of the knights, but a little bit sticky to try to get the pieces moving. Yeah, I think both players will be playing slowly here because it's just unfamiliar and they're working out what the right play is. I nearly feel like knight b5 was a decent try there and just, go straight direct. As white here, you've got a development advantage. It's beneficial to open up the position sooner rather than later. And he's left the pawn hanging here. I don't know if that was a blunder. I don't know if he didn't see it was defended by two pieces. But he's just given up his strong pawn chain in the middle for what looks like not much. So yeah, instead of queen g3, I was thinking knight b5 might be a bit more direct, and then just hit pawn at d6, and you know, white's king safe, and you're just prizing black's king open. Now black has something to play for. This queen's actually getting trapped with pawn at g5. Yeah, I think mastertan a little bit slow out of the blocks here. I favour black in this position. And Bonobo knows what he's doing, he's not mucking around. Yeah, this is all over. Look, nice game, nice win in the end from Bonobo, but I really think neither player did much in the middle game, and then mastertan kind of blundered his central pawn structure instead of trying to make something with it on the dark squares. So, a little bit slow out of the blocks from mastertan. Well done to Bonobo for playing through a tough opening position. Okay, so now mastertan with the black pieces. Bonobo's up 1-0. Got standard d4, d5 position. Early trades here. I mean, black's made white consume a tempo. In these sorts of symmetrical positions, if you can make your opponent consume a tempo where it probably wasn't necessary, it's a good thing because it's so closely locked here anyway. So if black can kind of get a step ahead, I really think just knight f4 and bishop at e4 is reasonable. It's going to be a slow grind. It's all about very small edges here. Now, of course, white couldn't have taken this knight before when the king was on g1 because of knight at f3 check, which was forking the king and queen. Oh, okay. I thought knight f4 was just sensible, but mastertan's looking for more. So this knight is poisoned, in fact. If you allow that bishop to capture, there's too much pressure on g2, and f3 is still weak. And mastertan here, being creative, sacrificed an early piece. So here I actually like a move like f3, just because that weakness is key, and you also give white king some space to move. Of course, the mate threat here is bishop h3 check, king back, knight f3 check, king h1, pawn at g2. But Bonobo's choosing a cover here, which is also reasonable. I would like to not allow black to put a pawn on f3. That really locks in the king. So king h1 is a preference here because of knight at f3 check if the king went to g1. So Bonobo moves back accurately. Now here bishop d3, bishop at f3. Possible. Maybe bishop e4 check. Yeah, I like bishop e4 check in fact. It's nice to leave this f3 square open for the knight to jump in. Now here, black's kind of just sacrificed the piece for a pawn, hasn't really capitalized immediately, but has a stronghold on h3. F3 now played, it serves two purposes. It patches up the f3 square, but also gives more cover to g2. And so that was a plan of knight c6 to just get another pawn by using the piece that's out of the way over here. So black's down material. If he doesn't act fast, white's going to be able to place all the pieces and mix things up. Now, while it's still a live position, I don't feel that black has got enough out of the sacks. I think objectively white is actually better here. Just needs to hang in there and defend. From here I'm looking at rook f2, king g1. What I'm seeing here is black has so few pieces in hand, he's not going to be able to attack on both colors. Now that's a very important thing. Black can come in with all the bishops and pawns on the light squares, and you'll end up with a position that looks like drafts, and will basically have nothing. So I'm saying if white just puts all the pieces on dark squares and can trade off this knight, it's going to be hard for black to penetrate. B0N0B0 is going for the attack here, which isn't so bad either. But if it were my game, I'd just be playing to defend very simply, and when the dust settles, I'll put my pieces on the board. Okay, white's a pawn short here. So I would have played a move like bishop at c3 and just worked my way in slowly on this diagonal without giving up all the pawns. If you don't finish accurately, you're going to end up giving the initiative back to your opponent. Okay, as long as black doesn't have a rook, and white continues to attack. So some nice nasty threats here. Mastertan defending well. And he doesn't have a knight in hand, so he's just short of that. But now black's got the knights, and see now black can actually launch an attack himself. Knight at h3 is dangerous here. Oh, this feels like it came down to the wire on time. They're just moving quickly now. Yeah. B0N0B0 should have won that match, I think. So I think they've kind of handed it back to each other. I mean, Mastertan got a great opening before. The point I was making here, I think it was after knight takes d4. I'll just spend a quick moment on this, and B0N0B0 kind of tried to get aggressive with opening up the king quickly. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's time to strike as well, but you could play a move like bishop at c3 or even bishop e5, and not be so direct. I mean, maybe pawn h3 comes in, g1, knight f3 check, takes. Let's use. I was talking about bishop at c3. Let's use that as an example. If bishop at f3, you just back off here. And this knight doesn't really have a good spot to go. I mean, the check isn't really worth anything. You can even play queen, maybe at e3 or queen e5 is sensible too. I mean, this rook is not going to be enough to mate white. If something more like bishop at h3, yeah, you can even back off here, and because you haven't given up all the pawns, then white's now safe. But if you give up all the pawns like e7, f6, then now black can counterattack. So here black has to do something about this knight. This bishop's naturally going to be bearing down on these squares. White can even just try to undermine this pawn slowly. I just felt B0N0B0 could have been a little bit slower in his approach, because unfortunately he came up just one pawn short in his attack. And it just meant he had to slow down a bit. And then here he kind of gave up some. Even here I think he's probably better, but he's running short on time. So yeah, I think maybe a slower approach might have helped from a practical perspective. So it's 1-1. Let's go to game 3. Okay, Mastertan with the white pieces again. We're playing into e4, e5. So they're repeating. So you'll see if they repeat, the opening will move faster. Now, if you're Mastertan and you knew your opponent was playing pawn at e6, you'd probably be happy to go to the same line. Yeah, I think he should still go for pawn f4, e5. He's mixed it up here probably because of the poor result, but certainly there's a space advantage. He may still get a space advantage out of this. At the high level games, maybe I'm not as big a fan of pawn at e6. It just gets a little bit passive. Here's a point where even black's determined he doesn't want to bring the knight back. He's preferring to give up a piece to remain active. Okay, so a very different game to the first match here. A little bit more open. I'm favouring white here. White's got a piece for a pawn. Black hasn't really got adequate compensation. And I guess he can try to continue with h4, pawn at g3, but the pieces aren't really connected. White's got space. White's already got an outpost on black's half. So objectively, I feel like white's better again here. So that's wise from B0N0B0. I mean, he has to make use of these pieces here. The bishop would be better placed on a diagonal like this than sitting on c8. And now I think with mastertan here, he's probably just in an unfamiliar position and he's got to find his own way. And he's just so incredibly strong when he knows what he's doing. But I feel like even here he's probably slightly better, but having a good think on what he should do. This diagonal is open. Well, I don't even mind playing something like bishop at e3 here. Just to put something on dark squares. You might get captured a couple times and then you have to face a bishop b6 pin on the queen. You could even give up the queen and just dissolve those two knights, because this is now dangerous. See, knight at f2 is a threat. Just kind of giving black everything he wants from a position where there wasn't much. And even knight at f2, king g1, knight e4 is a possibility. Go on knight at e4 first. That's actually quite accurate. He's trying to fork these two and say if you want to hold on to your bishop, the queen's going to have to come here, and then I'm going to be able to fork the king and the queen. The knight at e4 is a good move here. At this stage, I think maybe white should just part with the queen. Maybe something like bishop at e1 or bishop at g1, and allow this queen to pass and then attack this way. Oh, okay. Oh, king e7 is a very accurate win here, I think. Yeah, B0N0B0's seen it. The problem is this can't be captured because knight g3 was a mate threat. Well, now he should take that rook, not the. Oh yeah, sorry, the bishop's bearing down on g2. White's in big trouble here. Pawn at e2, yeah. This is over. White just can't get an attack going before black gets him. So yeah, nice game from B0N0B0 here. I'm feeling like both of them are getting an edge with white out of the opening, and then they're not converting, and then losing the match as black. Not to take away from how they're playing as black. They're playing good moves as black, but it just feels that white's generally better, and then white's generally better, and then black is allowed to get into the game. Okay, mastertan shift. He's got a kind of King's Indian perk-like setup. Not committing anything to the 4th rank even. So slow build. Okay, not one piece traded yet. Both sides very solid. Black's going to want to release this pressure gradually. White probably wants to play e4 at some stage. Okay, here comes mastertan. He's played this move first to support the e5 push. So B0N0B's chosen to close down the position. Oh, and a straight up sack. So it's 2 pawns for a piece, but I think what's more important is which 2 pawns they are. That can be a structure that really holds black in. Black's got this bishop on the diagonal, wants to make use of it. This knight was passive, so why not throw in a knight for 2 pawns? Oh, here comes mastertan. He's trying to play on g3. If anything, I think black probably achieved a bit more out of the opening than white. This is a really strong fortress here, held behind another wall. Black's got all the pieces where he wants them. You can tell mastertan's moving much faster this game as well. You get a sense he's comfortable and he knows where he wants to go, even if this isn't completely familiar to him. Okay, so in looking at this position, you know, it's not close to over yet, but I just feel that black's just a little bit ahead on the attack, and white's got a lot of work to undermine this. Black's got plenty of pieces in hand, white's got plenty of pieces in hand. Now, just trying to optimize his piece drops. Yeah, pawn at e3 might run into something like pawn at g3. So, look, mastertan actually published an article about light and dark squares, and I imagine he thinks like this during a game as well. White's got 2 bishops, the queen, everything, pawns, all on light squares, so he's very, very well covered on light squares. So I think mastertan's just pretty quickly identified, well, the right square for a bishop's on a dark square, because I'm going to come in on these to begin with, and you can see exactly how he's played. He's just going straight for the dark squares, and then it kind of looks like these pieces are over defending the light. And white's still defending, don't you worry about that, because black's had to sacrifice a few pieces. So you can see how black's still so strong here, and just chipping away at white's defense. So I'm tipping mastertan to win this very gradually. He doesn't have all the pieces in hand that he needs. But even here he might be able to switch it up with d3. No, he's gone for the pawn. And B0N0B's doing a great job defending here. I mean, he's defending as well as you can to hold black out. If you look at material though, I mean, it's pretty much black is an exchange up a rook for a piece and has more pieces on the board. So yeah, B0N0B's not making it easy, that's for sure. Okay, now black can come in, maybe knight at d1. I don't know how much value you get from an extra rook in hand though. This is a long match. The clocks must be running down by about now. Oh, there could be some. I thought knight h3 might be a trick, but I don't think there was enough. Grabbing the pawn is good. Okay, I think clocks are low on time. That's what I'm thinking here. Wow, mastertan's just sacked the whole house to get 2 deadly pawns there. And you can see he can afford to make these sacks because the king's so safe. Now it's turning decisive. Oh yeah, queen e1 wasn't quite. He had to be careful as well. Knight at f6 is threatening him. Bonobo has just defended so tenaciously. He's actually looking alright now. I think mastertan maybe ran a bit short on time and has had to try to... Wow, we're up to move 66 here, guys. That's a very long Crazy House match. Oh, okay, this just looks like it's on time. Yeah, black won on time in the end. In the end, he kind of fought himself back to a position where he's not looking too bad. Wow, that was a really hard fought match. 72 moves. That's incredible. Yeah, I felt like black had the upper hand during the middle game, and then Bonobo just stuck with it and didn't let mastertan in. Really well defended by Bonobo. I expected mastertan to win the position. But okay, mastertan won that one on time, so that takes us to 2-all. Mastertan's got the white pieces again. Okay, what just happened there? This is a weird opening. A3, E5, D4, ED, Queen D4, Queen E3. This queen just looks so ugly. It's blocking all the pieces. There's some kind of trickery here. It's trying to fork 2 pawns. So that's why Bonobo's defending it in this way. Holding onto the material. Okay, this is good. Both guys will be unfamiliar here and we'll have to just figure out the game. So in this sort of situation, you want to develop your piece as well. Black's got to be cautious of just playing knight f6 to defend this, because in Crazy House you can play things like pawn at g5, which then makes this a target. So, you know, he might even consider putting the queen on to defend it. Against d4, you've got to watch out for knight b5. Well, it's not a problem, it's queen at a5. Queen at a5 also covers you against knight d5. Maybe d4 is a good move. He has played knight f6 in the end. Now, mastertan pawn e6. Sorry, pawn e5. Nobo again, he's just decided he's going to sacrifice a piece for some activity. I don't think it's warranted though. White should be happy to pick up a piece for a pawn. So Bonobo keeping a safe king. He's got some targets. E3 is a bit of a weakness. This knight's covering the critical entry points though for the knight. I think he can just take this. So while it looks like black's got some initiative here, it's actually down a few pawns and a piece. If he can't take advantage of it soon, mastertan's just going to put his king here, get solid, and start hurting black with pawns on light squares. And I'm feeling like white has enough to defend here, so I'm going to back mastertan again to take this one. So even here, pawn at a6 can be played straight away. Yeah, and mastertan's seen it. Because if takes, queen at a8 check, queen at b8, and pawn at b7 is mate, because this knight covers this square. So that makes this knight e3 threat look like next to nothing. Oh, yeah, mastertan straight in. He's going to get the king in the open with queen in hand. God, yeah, this is over. Queen at b5 and pawn at a6. He's going to go pawn a6 first. Yeah, Bonobo's actually resigned here. That's fair enough. This bishop's covering b6, so you can't put the queen there. After pawn at b6, bishop at c6, king goes back, queen a6. Black's got no attack on the white king, and it's just falling apart. So nice game from mastertan there. Possibly, a little bit optimistic from Bonobo on sacrificing a piece early and then a couple pawns. Didn't get enough out of the opening. So mastertan moves ahead to 3-2. And now has the black pieces again. Okay, he's going down this sort of line. Ah, he's done the wall. Okay, so white gets some space advantage here. Black is solid. I mean, sometimes black will delay an e5 push. This is very mastertan-like. It doesn't matter that he spent a few moves to get the pawn there, because now the white bishop's on d3 and is a little bit displaced behind the pawn on e4. So this position is new to my eyes. Basically, white's preempting black to castle. He hasn't done that just yet, and black's going to try to say, well, your f2 and g3 are now weak, and I'm going to keep my king in the middle potentially. Okay, so opening up some lines. White's trying to make something here. I'm not immediately concerned for black's safety, but it makes sense. Bishop b5. You've got to make a better piece out of this. Wasn't doing everything on d3. He's made black consume a pawn on c6. Expend a pawn, and now f7 is under attack and he doesn't have a blocker to put on e6. So I reckon mastertan here probably just needs to castle into the storm. Sure, white can capture this a few times and the black king will end up on f7, but it's not horrible. Maybe if white gets h5 and pawn at g6 in. Oh, he just played rook f8. Okay. Yeah, Bonobo is making something here. I would have thought he should just castle, but maybe concerned about h5 and g6. So white now getting a few weaknesses on black side. The idea is to try to pick up this pawn with check. I think he just plays knight c3 though. Not sure what that queen's doing there. Okay, so mastertan is correctly identified. He's got a defender on either light square. This is a good move. It defends more light squares. Yeah, now it was also attacking c2. I don't know if it should leave its post though. I think there's some value in defending these light squares, because if you want to capture this bishop, then pawn d7 starts becoming a bit more dangerous. I would have preferred black to leave the knight here and just take g4 potentially. Then knight c2 is a threat, and you've got this going on. Oh, okay. I've missed this altogether though. That's a nice tactic from Bonobo. And this bishop then picks up the knight, threatens mate. That's a key move. The bishop at h5-4. So Bonobo's going for the attack, trying to attack black before anything happens this side with capture. Yeah, white's a lot better here now. So this bishop's hanging, which he has to look out for. I don't know, maybe mastertan should have taken that instead of playing king g8. He could have cleaned up these pieces instead of running from them. But okay, white can now even get safe with bishop at b3 and capture. Yeah, I think he's aiming for some kind of really close to mate queen at g8. And even if it isn't, it's plenty for black to think about. Oh, so he's opened up this now. Queen at g8 becomes more threatening with that. Bonobo not settling for the knight, he's just going to keep pounding the attack. Right, here he goes, now he's taken it. Oh, the pace of the moves are picking up now. I thought rook at c8 might have been a better way to start. But look, white's better here. And uses knight, not now. Oh, I think this is now dangerous. Hang on, did this go the right way? Oh. Oh no. It's must have run short on time. In fact, I didn't pick that at all. mastertan found some nice tactics. With this queen on d8, I think Bonobo had it in the bag, and then mastertan got out, and then he must have run out of time in a winning position. But let's just go back here, well back. I think this was critical here. I still felt white was stronger. White's got 2 pawns on the 7th and plenty of heavy pieces in hand. Rooks and queens are called. I was looking at rook at c8 first and getting this capture. That way you make use of this pawn, and then you can make use of this pawn here. So you can play rook at g8, and then after that it's very clear cut. This is pretty convincing. I thought that was the finish that was going to occur. Instead, there's a slight difference. Bonobo's gone for rook at g8 first. But what that means is black is now relatively safer because there's no direct checks on the back. And even then, white is fine. I think, yeah, bishop g6 is also strong. You know, threaten knight f7, pawn f7. You know, there's threats here. If there's checks on the back, you've got material to cover it. Now what happened though was he played for a tactic d8, and I should say here, both players are probably short on time by now, so I'm not being overly critical. The idea is after takes, knight at f7 wins the queen. But here he didn't block accurately, he used up his knight, and then he didn't have a knight for here, and suddenly the tables turned because white's now a little bit down on material and black's actually getting closer to safety. Instead, I think you've got to leave this bishop here so that this doesn't become a check. You probably need to play something like rook at f1. So you keep the knight in hand. Yeah, if you get checked here, you can move to c1. Just avoiding any case of knight at f7 not working. So that was another point. Then here I even felt that after mastertan got what he wanted, he defended here, but it nearly feels like he should have mate. I don't know if this was the right move. I was wondering if rook at g1 straight away was stronger. Now he can't defend with the bishop because knight at f3 mates in 2. So he's got to block with the rook. Now after rook f1, if bishop f1, we get the same pattern, knight at f3 mates. So after rook f1, he has to take with the king. And from here, is it pawn g2? What works here? This just looks so close to mate, I'm not seeing it immediately though. Pawn g2, king g1, maybe rook at f1. The idea is bishop f1, you take, you go here, king h2, you make a queen, that's all over. Rook h3 takes. So rook f1 forced. And then I think you can just repeat that cycle. You can't play here because you get mated by that rook. And then otherwise you're just going back to this position. And then this is where rook f1 will force because there's no more rook here on a1. But look, he probably didn't have time to see all that. Instinctively, I just felt that if he was running the king out, he's giving white that escape square without being able to put a pawn on g2. So instinctively, I felt knight g2 wasn't right. But yeah, even here, I think he's fine. Bishop g3 is mating as well. Key point being a cut v2. So maybe he's played it just fine. I'm being overly critical here. All right. Let's go to the next match. Unfortunate for mastertan that he lost on time, but B0N0B0 should have also had that in the bag. It's a very, very close match so far. We're at 3-all, and they're both exposing each other's weaknesses. This is really competitive stuff. Okay, we've got mastertan with the white pieces again. This is now the 7th match. Okay, early bishop f7 sack. Now I'd pick B0N0B0 to know what he's doing in this opening. Okay, this is actually a slight gambit on e5, where basically black goes, look, all my pieces have been nicely developed. I've castled, even this rook has an open line, and you've got all these pieces here. And so white should be thinking, hang on, I've knocked black's king around a fair bit, and I've got an extra pawn, but in fact black has some probably dynamic equality here, unless mastertan knows a thing or two, which he often does. So I think the idea of this is to try to get queen h5 in, make things dangerous. And that's actually a very accurate move because it still prevents queen h5. This is key. If black plays knight d5 instead, one continuation is queen h5, bishop at g6, takes, and then bishop at f7 is in fact mating. As if king h8, rook at h7 mate, if king f8, rook at g8 mate. Ooh, mastertan, sack the queen. Banking on something with knight at f7, I think. But bishop g5 just refutes that. I don't think this is called for. I think mastertan's lost here. He's given up a bit too much. Now you might think, hang on, mastertan's lost here. What are you talking about? He's got the attack going. But black just has an army of pieces, and I don't think white has enough to finish off the job. See, now this is a great move. Defending f7 from the queen f7 check, and also now threatening mate by attacking this, because knight at e2, king h1, bishop g2 is now opening up the king and threatening mate. So bishop at d5, fantastic move. Very accurate. If queen at e8 here, queen at f8, you can trade off the queens. White's not got a pawn or enough material to make an impact. So cool, calm, collected. I mean, I kind of find my statement a little bit interesting. I don't know, straight up call this a win for black, even though it looks like white's got the initiative. It's something intuitive. So mastertan defending with f3. But now black's safe. He can even just start cleaning up the pieces. He's not settling for that though. He's seen something sharper. He can, the king can't come to h1 because of rook at g1 takes knight at f2 mate. So he's picked up the queen here. He can just pick up all the material. And white's resigned, rightfully so. So yes, something went wrong there for mastertan. I think queen g4 was maybe an oversight. He hadn't seen that his knight was hanging, so that knight f7 wasn't going to work. So what I mean by here is maybe he was thinking of this move, but then that thwarts the rook at h8 mate threat. And after it's queen captures, it's going to be mate. You can't play king h1, you get smothered mate. And this is over. So okay, B0N0B0 now ahead 4-3. That was just a solid game from B0N0B0 there. Okay, well this is interesting. I'd actually tipped mastertan to win this a little bit more convincingly, but B0N0B0 is coming up with the goods so far. He's up 4-3. He's only a couple matches away from making it to the round of 8. Alright, so B0N0B0's actually switched it up here. He's been playing d4 so far. He's now gone for e4. Okay, mastertan. He's played a bishop c5 and then back to e7. This is actually playable. It looks a bit funny, but the idea is that the bishop may actually be more useful defending against this pin. And then black can just kind of slowly progress. Now B0N0B0 has played something quite accurate in so he's got the knight on d5 before black can play c6. If black gets c6 in before that, then white probably has a little bit of a tougher time getting active. So this is a critical move, knight d5 in the opening. He's trying to trade off the bishop and get some hits on the queen. So mastertan's going to think twice before he just takes this, because if he trades off too much and white is allowed to knock this queen around, take for example takes and takes, bishop at g5, white might be allowed to put too many pieces on the king's side. So this is wise. He's just defending f6, trying to stay solid. These e4, e5 positions can turn deceivingly sharp very quickly. Alright, so knight at h5, just continuing to pressure f6. And importantly, white's also got h3 and already preventing bishop g4. Okay, B0N0B0 going straight for it, sacking a pawn here for activity. He's got no pieces in hand, but he's got plenty of activity this side. How's he going to continue from here though? Because if he doesn't strike fast enough, then black will place a pawn here and start unraveling his position. Wow, alright, B0N0B's put the foot down. He's sacrificed the whole piece now. Oh, I feel like it could be holdable though. Have to take a pause to pick up more material. Mastertan here. Knight at e7 check. That's the key. He plays pawn at h6, then takes the knight, takes the bishop, knight at e7. So B0N0B0 able to maintain his initiative. Some tactics. And he's now making this c6 move look a bit silly. So, the sack on f7 can sometimes be warranted because basically this knight can't capture c4 anymore. And then you make that knight look silly. So you don't really lose a piece as long as you can continue the initiative. Mastertan played pawn f5 to get rid of the e6 pawn. Yeah. I nearly prefer black a little bit here. I think Mastertan's done well enough. Rook at d8 maybe is required. Keep pushing forward. Black's got all the residual advantages. He's got 3 bishops and 2 knights. You can do a lot with that. I think bishop at g8 is called for here. Just defend. That's just as good. He can't take g5 just yet because of a knight at f7 trick. So you need to defend f7 first. Yeah, I'd take black over white here. B0N0B0 is still fighting tenaciously. Black just needs to try to remove things in his half. I would have even considered parting with the queen there. Just to, because now he can start doing things like rook e5 or knight e5. Yeah, 2 pawns on the back. B0N0B's got the fire going again. It was nearly snuffed out. And, yeah. And black's still alright. And white's got things to be concerned about. Knight at h3 is a mate threat. Yeah, knight at h3. Oh, he's gone for f3 first. Oh no! Oh, he fell for a mate in one. He just moved a bit too quickly with knight g5. That's a shame for Mastertan. Yeah, what can I say? I think he defended very well to this point, and it came his turn to strike. And he went knight f3. I thought maybe knight at h3 first, and then you can just play knight g5. Oh man, I don't know. This is dangerous enough. It's still a game from here. You know, B0N0B0 had a really strong attack in the opening. I think Mastertan found a good way to wriggle out of it. Key here was to get this queen off g6 and still capture some material when this knight went. And so now knight e7 isn't a threat anymore. In order to continue doing something, B0N0B's had to trade off a couple pieces for the rook. And then material-wise, white's got a pawn and a rook, black's got this whole array. Knight e8, e6, good to cover off. I thought maybe rook at d8 was a move. I guess you just prevent the queen from promoting. Black's still fine here. But yeah, a move like rook e1 was pretty passive. And here I just felt like f2 was weak as well. He had options. Maybe he could have played bishop at c5. Maybe I would have played bishop at g8, not bishop at h5. Bishop at h5 I think is just as fine. It's aggressive. And I don't think black needs to take this rook, because black is just it doesn't have much. It needs to get some more pieces on the board. Just go a bit slower. So you might even play something like knight at f7. Just work on undermining these pieces first, very gradually. You know, white can't do anything by trading this bishop off. You kind of give white some room to move. And this knight also, you know, is just another piece that prevents knight at f7 fork. So white's got nothing in hand here. He's got to kind of sacrifice pieces again to keep going. Black should just keep putting pieces on. So instead, what you saw happen is a bishop got traded off. He maybe could have even taken this, but just let him back in the game a little bit. Okay, anyway, wow, so B0N0B0 now up 5-3. due to a missed mate in one, possibly in time trouble. I don't know exactly what the clocks are at, but mastertan now on the ropes. So the favourite I picked is not the favourite at the moment. Bonobo up 5-3, just needs one more match to qualify for the round of 8. So mastertan had better bring his best game from here. Let's see how he goes. Okay, we've got this opening position again. Oh, completely different. Knight f3. I mean, I think mastertan should be happy with his positions he gets with pawns on f4 and e5. Maybe he's just feeling a little bit unfamiliar with them. Okay. What's Bonobo thinking here? h5. Okay. You got to be careful with mastertan here. I think capable of grinding something out. Bishop h4 is the idea here. That's very accurate from white. You know, black had 2 pieces on this, so you actually have to play h4 to put a piece on it, and then it also allows the rook to cover. I'd be thinking about knocking this knight away now. Yeah, mastertan agrees. This trade is trivial. Maybe bishop at e5. And then just knight at f4, I think. Just keep this threat there. There's also another trivial trade. Because if you force black to move back, then you start getting in. Don't need anything fancy. Oh, he's got him to play f4. I would have put the knight on. Okay, well, this knight's now hanging, so I don't think either side's unhappy here. It's just a game to play for. Okay, mastertan just preserving the queen. Knight g4 still threat. So, you know, white's got a piece with 2 pawns. Black's a little underdeveloped on this side. So a long way from home, but I think white's slightly better here. Bonobo's getting his pawns in good places. This is important. When you get the 2 pawns for the piece, the pawns take a few moves, take some time to get on. Wow, what just happened there? Just gave up the queen. Thought maybe he had some other options. Just happened too quick. I didn't see it. I don't think black gets much compensation for doing that. Yeah, I'm a little bit puzzled. Maybe I missed something, but we'll go over it in a moment. From here, yeah, white can play solid. Oh, that's a bad miss. Yeah, that's a. I think Bonobo just blundered a few things there. Let's go back to here. Bishop at g5, and he decided to sack the queen. I suppose the problem is if f6, knight at g6. I have to settle for something like knight at f6. You know, knight at c4, d6. There's still a game to play here. Yeah, black's not getting enough back for the queen. Maybe it's also that black's a little bit overextended and doesn't have a pawn to cover. But okay, I think mastertan manoeuvred his queen very well in that middle game. It looked like Bonobo just kind of caved in at the end and blundered a bit. But okay, it's a high pressure match here, so I don't always see the best moves under pressure. So Bonobo's still up 5-4. He's fine. He's still got another shot. So now Bonobo's got the white pieces. Okay, mastertan again, opting for bishop e7. So this is very much a repeat of game 2 games ago. Knight a5 was played here. Switch up to bishop e6. Okay. This is a very balanced position. Quite often here, white will reroute this knight. Yeah, rook e1. I mean, yeah, it supports e4, but e4 already had plenty of support. Mastertan's going to thrive in this kind of position. He likes a good strategic position where he can make progress gradually. Has a very clear plan ahead. This kind of makes a dormant weakness here, which may eventually come to fruition. Now he's opening up the position, but it doesn't feel like it's on his terms. Bishop b6. Now this is becoming more exposed. Yeah, I would have taken bishop at b6, but no, this is mastertan's game. This is still good. g3 is now falling. It's already looking good for black positionally. So mastertan fighting for his life here. g5, bring the piece into the game. Yeah, mastertan is now going to hurt him. The g2's coming unraveled. Very hard to get into black's position over here. She's got so much on the king side. Yeah, I think rook e1 and opening with d4 is maybe helping black. Oh, white resigned right here. Well, I mean, fair enough. I mean, white's only lost a pawn, but strategically, this is pretty well lost. So we're at 5-all. I got the sense here that Bonobo kind of took the pedal off the metal. I think he was really playing a much stronger game, and maybe the pressures had a bit of an impact here. Because relative to the first 8 games, mastertan walked away with a couple of victories that seemed a bit easier by comparison. Still balanced here. This is another e4, e5 kind of position. White's just got a couple pieces in black's half. This is a sensible move. You want to get white to do this and then kick away the knight. So I was thinking BC might help more. And now white's getting some pressure on f6. BC, then the threat of taking the knight was there, and this bishop is covering the light squares well. So black has to be careful here. If the center opens up too quickly, white's king's going to be much safer than black's. Oh, he took with the bishop. Okay. Yeah, White's kind of got everything to play for here. See, with the bishop on d7 and this pawn coming here, you still have a defender on e6. Now if the bishop takes, not only do you give up just a piece for a piece, but e6 is also more exposed. Okay, I expect mastertan to try to get decisive here. He'll try something on the dark squares. There's a few different options. You want to cash in the right way. I don't know if bishop at f6 is right. You might just take that. You might be happy. Bishop at h4. Kind of similar. So mastertan's going for the queen. Ah, you can't take with the rook because of knight c7. So white just safe here, and here comes mastertan. He's opening up the dark squares. Oh yeah, pawn of b6. Oh, this is rough. Very hard to defend from here. So white's got the two queens, threatening mate. Oh, I can hear someone. Hey Bella, come here. My daughter's just woken up. You okay, Belle? Do you need a cuddle? Alright, I think mastertan's going to win this one quite comfortably. I might have to attend to my daughter just briefly. B0N0B0 hasn't made it simple. Hey Belle. What happened? Alright, I've got a grumpy little 3-year-old over here. I'll have to figure out what's going on. Okay, yeah. White should not take that knight because bishop f3 would be pretty much mating white. But okay, now yeah, rook at d8 was enough. You can take queen c7, rook at d8. So convincing win from mastertan here, and now mastertan is ahead 6-5. So we got one up on B0N0B0. That's, I mean, this happened in the match between All You Need Is Love and Bugzilla. Let's see what happens from here. Bugzilla was also up 5-3 and had, in a sense, 2 match points, if you want to use a tennis term, 2 opportunities to try to take the match. And then they went to 5-all. So we're here again. We've gone to 5-all, and mastertan's taken the lead. In the series, All You Need Is Love versus Bugzilla. All You Need Is Love actually took the lead after 5-all. So. Okay, we've got a balanced position here. This pawn is kind of useful for black. It's defending e5. So yeah, nothing decisive yet. Far from decisive. Both players going solid. Okay, here we go. h4, h5. I have a feeling B0N0B's played something like this against me before. He's really hit the g6 square hard. I just clearly remember there was I'm not sure if it was a game of the week match or something, but I recall I was playing the black pieces and it really made me work for my defense. Hard to say. I feel like this is a little bit optimistic from white. mastertan's considering it quite seriously. I think black should just take a few times and replace with a diagonal, and I mean, maybe if you take an e6 falls, but the rook isn't of high value, you can just play this, and I'd be happy to play this with black. Because white's effectively giving up 2 pieces for a rook, maybe gets a pawn in the process, but material-wise, if there isn't anything direct, I think black stands a little bit better. Okay, so he's opted to take this one. G6 is threatened, needs to be covered. Oh, he's got bishop at h5. That's his idea. I say if you look at this on material, oh, that's something that I missed. I'm not sure if I don't think knight at c2. Or maybe it is good. You keep on? The question was whether pawn h7 is actually mating. If you take it, then it's going to be mate with pawn at g6. But against pawn at h7, black can sidestep. Oh, and master 10, not even flinching. I think he's already seen that king h8 is safe. This is now getting very deadly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pawn h7, king h8. I don't think white can make anything of that. That puts white in some considerable trouble. It's very hard to defend against this double attack. Because you can't place a queen on e2. You've got to run. But in the process, black is picking up some material. Knight f1 here looks right, because then that continues the attack for knight d2. Or maybe queen f2 is threatening pawn at c2. That's also a good one. So yeah, I mean that's a critical thing. Pawn h7, king f7 or king h7 are both lost. But the critical point here is king h8 is a saving grace. So okay, Master 10's uncomfortable enough with his position here. He's going to defend a bit. Do some work on the light squares. Alright, oh, still got a game here. This is now a threat. Master 10 wisely taking the pressure off his king by getting this bishop off the diagonal. Yeah, can't take that one. It's knight at g5 would be too dangerous. That's a bit of desperation now. Yeah, white doesn't have enough of this. This is over. So, that's unfortunate for B0N0B0. He's actually resigned here. So Master 10 takes it 7 games to 5 after being down 5-3. So we just saw the second big comeback on the brink of being out of an event. Both All You Need Is Love and Master 10 have now qualified despite being down 5-3 in their matches. Yeah, I feel for B0N0B0 because I felt he was really taking it to Master 10 in the first 8 games, and then something seemed to change. I don't know if it was pressure or maybe a distraction at his end or something, but it felt like Master 10 just got to play his style, and B0N0B0 wasn't challenging him as much. Okay, well, okay, so we've got Master 10 in. Got All You Need Is Left. I've just qualified up against Krosky, so I actually got through a bit easier than some of the other guys. I got through 6-0. I'm going to leave it there. There's some more matches to come tomorrow. I'm probably not going to be able to cover them live. I've got work tomorrow, so unfortunately Sunday for everyone else is Monday for me here in Australia. So it might be during the week. if Krosky or Atrophied aren't covering the matches, I might get involved. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you're looking for more matches, you can have a look at Thomas Krosky's channel. I'm going to give another plug for it right here. I did this morning on the stream, but if you go to YouTube, we'll pull that up. Just type in Thomas Krosky, and here it is: Crazy House and Bughouse content. Check out more at reddit.com. That's his channel. Get onto that. He's got videos here, and he's been actually covering some of the other matches. So Penguin GIM up against 12-teen, and also Opperwesen versus Blitzbullet. He's done the commentary on those two matches. I won't be speaking about the results of those, so you can go enjoy them yourselves. He did make a game audio only recording of Mastertan vs B0N0B0, but I've done this one with commentary just to cover for him. So yeah, between the three of us, we're just trying to help out the organizer, Fishy Vishy, cover some of these fantastic matches from the round of 16. They've been fantastic. So yeah, this series hard fought, but I felt it was a bit topsy-turvy. I think both Mastertan and B0N0B0 exposed each other's weaknesses in the game. Tough fight. Congratulations to Mastertan. Commiserations to B0N0B0. But look, I'm going to leave it there. Check out Krosky's channel. He's a great proponent of the game. Go and subscribe. He's just getting started. I was in this position about a year ago. I'm going to leave it there. So enjoy your weekend. Get inspired. Get crazy. We'll have a lot more matches in the coming weeks with the round of Robin between the top 8. I'll see you then.